There was a young man named Daniel. By the world's standards, Daniel was successful, but his heart was heavy. Every small setback felt like a mountain. Every criticism felt like a knife. To him, life felt like a series of bitter cups he was forced to drink. One day, he met an old friend, Marcus, a man burdened by the same quiet restlessness. Together, they heard of a master who lived by the great blue lake in the high mountains, a man said to possess a peace no storm could touch. With a flicker of hope, they began the long journey. They were not searching for wealth, they were searching for a way to end the bitterness. When they finally stood before the master, they poured out their hearts. They spoke of their struggles, their unfair trials, and the constant pressure of their lives. The master listened in silence. He offered no easy answers. Instead, he reached into a jar and took a heavy handful of coarse gray salt. He gave some to Daniel and some to Marcus. "Put the salt in your glass," he said. "Fill it with water and drink." They obeyed. The moment they tasted it, their faces tightened. Marcus spat it out. Daniel winced, his throat burning. "How does it taste?" the master asked. "It's unbearable," Daniel said softly. "It's pure bitterness, undrinkable." The master nodded and led them down a winding path to the edge of a vast, crystal-clear lake. The water stretched endlessly, still and deep, reflecting the open sky. "Now," said the master, "take another handful of salt and throw it into the lake." They did. The grains disappeared instantly into the depths. "Now," he said, "kneel and drink." They cupped the water in their hands and drank deeply. It was cool, refreshing, pure. "Do you taste the salt?" the master asked. "No," replied Marcus, "not at all." "The salt is still there," said the master quietly, "but the taste has changed." The master sat on a rock by the water as the sun began to set. Golden light stretched across the lake. Daniel and Marcus sat before him, listening. "The pain of life," said the master, "is like this salt. It is constant. The trials you face, the suffering you encounter, often do not change in amount, but the bitterness you feel depends entirely on the container you place it in." He gestured back toward the glass. "When your spirit is small, when your mind is narrow, when your heart is closed, you are like that glass. A little salt and you become bitter, overwhelmed, undrinkable." Then he turned toward the vast lake. "But when you expand your spirit, through prayer, through service, through growth of the soul, you become the lake. The salt is still there, but it can no longer change who you are. You are too vast to be made bitter by life. Stop asking life to give you less salt. Instead, become a larger vessel. Expand your spirit through prayer, so the trials of life do not overwhelm your taste. Do not be a glass, be a lake. Because fire does not destroy gold, it purifies it. And salt does not destroy water, it reveals the size of the heart it enters. Be peaceful, be vast, be the lake."